Dawalung, Dawalung.
Our people always said, now when you die and you leave here, when you go back, the first thing you're going to hear is your name. So you know you're home.
Wahzhazhe dita data, Wahzhazhe dita data.
To me, that name is an acknowledgement of your DNA, your ancestry. It's a way of allowing you participation, if you will, into the culture of our people.
Wahzhazhe win think eta, Danika shika jin ninkshe. Wahzhazhe win think eta, Danika shika jin ninkshe.
We believe, and these are old ways that we are taught from the beginning, that you aren't a person until you get that name.
The name is critical for identity. If you don't have a name, you're really not a member of our clan. You're not a member of the tribe.
Until you had your clan name, you weren't a human being yet. And so when you got your clan name, then you officially became a human being, and no one can take that name from you. And that's your name, and that's your place in the clan. And now also you can, it's your place at the Alonshka dance.
Data Dawala ninkshe. Data Dawala ninkshe.
Long time ago, they used to know kind of exactly who you were by your name. The bands are spread apart as families. The clans are more specific.
The purpose is to tell God that this is who this person is. And then he's going to know him by this. And that's what we say. He's going to know you by this name that you're going to be given at this morning. And it's going to go follow you. It's going to go before you in life.
The clans do things differently. We name our people differently from clan to clan. Some are just family-based, and others are more group-based.
All Osage names are given for their functionality. When you get into a given name, you have to look at, well, what's its birthright?
Data Wahzhazhe Osage. Data Wahzhazhe Osage.
I think it makes families feel better to have their children named because they're proud of it, you know, and the kids like it. Those young ones don't really understand, but I think they realize their folks liked it, you know, and they learn their name and they keep it. They usually don't ever forget it.
It's a complex thing, but yet it's a beautiful thing, and it comes from times way before us that these things were set up for us to do it this way.
We all noticed that the Osage had stopped giving names so much. Very few people were giving names after World War II. And we became concerned that you grandchildren of ours would not be able to find us if we pass away on the other side of the sun, because the first thing you need to do when you get over there is call out your Indian name so we can find you.
We got names, and there's a whole bunch of names that we've lost, but we try to stay as close to within that clan with the names that we have.
They understand if they hear that name, they already know who you are by what your rank is, if you're the oldest boy, second boy, third boy.
I don't just make up a name. Those are names that are in a whole list of names. I got a whole list of names that's been collected over the years from my father, that he collected, that my uncle collected, and I have those names that you might say is my naming dictionary, if you will, that I can go back and look and reflect back that these are our clan names, and these are some of the characteristics that go with the individual that match up.
The best as far as how to choose a name, basically I just pray over it. And I take that book that I've kind of put together from the names that Wahzhazhe Ed Redigal gave us, and the different names that we have, and I just kind of pray over it, and I go through that book, and then there's just something that comes along that tells me this is the name that we need, that I feel like we need to give them.
And those names just almost jump off the page for that individual, for that. When I get ready to get the name, it will do that. And I know that's the right name. And I don't worry about it. That again is another inkling or a touch of, I always say it has a touch of the divine. Because that name is over there. So that person that gets that name, when they go home, they're going to hear that name, and it's over there. So that showed me that naming is a very, very mankind element that God established man with in naming.
I'm like a mirror. I'm just reflecting what was told to me by somebody else. And somebody else told them. And that's the oral traditions that we have that's so powerful and I believe so real for us as Osages. But again, these are things that were expressed and originated generations before me. So far before me, I can't tell you where they began, but it was a long, long time ago. And we're the ones that have it today. And we're entrusted with that today. We're empowered with that today. And we should hold on to that as much as we can and share with our young people or children, whoever's watching, that these are things that are not just, they're not just stories. These are real. These are a people that were shared and passed on, and right now with this particular media, we're passing it on to somebody else in another generation. And hopefully they will listen and live it. You got to live this life. You got to live Osage.
Wahzhazhe ok omali. Wahzhazhe ok omali.
It's real spiritual. It's more spiritual than what I thought it would be. Because these names, we have these names before we're born. We have these names before we're created. They're out there. And I'm just a tool to find your name. Because it takes a little meditation, a little prayer, a little quiet time, a little thinking, and these names will pop in my head. Then I'll have to do research to make sure they're legitimate names, and usually they are. Now, one time I had an extra name pop in my head. I did not know why, but I had two names, kept coming. And it turns out, when I went to the family, they said, "Oh, well, we had a surprise visitor," and it was a niece of theirs, and she wanted to be named, and she fit the criteria for the name I had. It was a second daughter name, and she wanted to be named, wanted to know if it's possible to get her name. And I said, "Yeah." So, as a matter of fact, I do have a name for you. I didn't know you were going to be here, but this name kept coming to me, and now I know. It was looking for you, and you came.
It's our responsibility to teach our children, because if we don't teach them, all this is going to go away.
Hey,